Well, hello, I'm Erin Hughes, and I'm here with Gary Bates for another episode of Creation.com Talk. And Gary and I both have our beach wear on today, or our fun shirts, and that's because in our minds we're going to Carolina.
That's right, Carolina in my mind. So today we're going to talk about our upcoming SuperConference. We only hold these about every 3 years. So they are a major event, and in the last few conferences we've had between 500 to 600 people attending on each and every occasion. So tell people about the venue, what we're doing, how many speakers we've got, what they can expect, what the format is.
Sure. Well, this is a special one because we have just been under these restrictions where we couldn't travel a lot due to COVID. So for about 20 months, we've been reaching out to you, our supporters, through these podcasts instead of in-person ministry. And like I said, we've just recommenced ministry, and it's been super exciting. People are really hungry for the creation message. So this, building up to this event, is going to be very special because a lot of new people are going to be engaged that we've just recently reached out to. But the venue is beautiful. It's in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's at the Hilton Beachfront Resort. Tons of activities, pools, lazy river for the kids, ton of family activities. But the big draw is the speaking roster.
We better let people know when this is. It's actually in 2022. We'll throw the exact dates up with a link at the end. So I don't want people to think we're just here as a big advert, because I've now been involved in 7 of these in my years with the ministry, organising them. And not only here, but back when I was in Australia, I've been a guest speaker at some of the other conferences held in our other countries, because a lot of our countries also run these about every 3 years. What we always do at the conference is we give people a feedback form.
Right.
Tell us what you like, what you didn't like. And I have to say, it is quite staggering how many people say that these are a life-changing event. Now, that's a big statement.
Yeah, for sure.
But specifically when they've brought their children and their teens along. And I think, when you look at the fact that we've got, over 20 lectures, Q&A times, they can sit and interact with the speakers during meal times, during downtimes, having that first-hand access.
Yeah.
I think particularly with families and their young ones creates such an impact to see that there's so much information, and that there are very learned men with PhDs, for example, that do believe in biblical creation. So it's not only a great equipping event for the families, but it's an immunizing event.
Yeah, it definitely trains up your family in the way that they should go. You're getting steeped in creation truth. And the thing that's different, and Gary, you mentioned that we've done this in many different countries, and we've done it time and time again. We've refined this so it's just really powerful on multiple levels. For the children, for the apologist, for the church leader, and just for the 30-year-old soccer mom. That's our main goal of making this digestible on a wide range. But I tell you one thing, we go to a lot of conferences as being part of Creation Ministries, a lot of pastors' conferences and things of that nature, and they're great. But one thing is that you always seem like you're just a little bit removed from the speakers. Like, you see them up on stage and you hear the great information they have to share, but then, you don't bump into them. Here, you get to live with them for a full week. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're a chess player, what do you get to do?
Yeah.
You get to sit down with Jonathan and play chess for a week.
Yeah, Dr. Jonathan Safety, who's a former international chess master, and actually he doesn't like to use the word master. That's the wrong description, so I'll call him a chess champion. They have very precise terms. But yeah, that's something actually I insisted early on because I'd been to some conferences and the speakers had their own meal room, and to me, to be honest, it kind of looked a bit elitist. So I think it's important that people can have interaction. They're seeing the authors, the writers that they've seen on creation.com and in the books and in the videos for years, and you can interact one-on-one with them. We're all there for 4.5 days. It's a live-in event, accommodation, registration, all the lectures, all your meals, and all the on-site activities. Now, we have a couple of off-site activities we normally throw in. This year, we're visiting Ripley's Aquarium with Dr. Robert Carter. He's going to take people on a guided tour of the marine aquarium there. I mean, he's a marine biologist, so that's in his field. I'm just going to hold up, and I know you will get a close-up of that. That's kind of one of the brochures that we've sent out. But as you're watching, write this down. Go to creation.com. The front page, you'll see a big link and a banner there to the SuperConference, or just type in creation2022.com.
Right.
And on that is the full program, all the activities, and in fact, a timetable of all the lectures.
Yeah.
So we've got free time there, so people can, have a bit of time down in the beach, etc. Now, I'm going to pick out a couple of the topics because if you're coming along, obviously you want some meat in this. Well, let me just start off. I'm doing a talk on did the different races evolve? That's a hot topic at the moment.
It sure is.
Yeah, with the whole Black Lives Matters issue going around, we've written about this. The Bible has the answer. What about dinosaurs? It's an area that most people are not familiar with, but the information we have on dinosaurs today, like soft tissue, having them carbon-14 tested, finding unfossilized DNA in dinosaur bones,
right,
to me is a direct refutation of the millions of years kind of association that people think of in movies and cartoons and books when you hear dinosaurs.
Yeah, and you don't get to hear that information on a regular basis. So when, kids are pulling up Jurassic Park or watching, whatever the favorite dinosaur show is, you don't get this solid biblical information. That's why it's so vital.
Yeah, and one of our associate PhD speakers, Dr. Jeff Benjamin, is going to be there, and he's going to be talking about tree ring dating. So you can type in, into Google now, do tree rings prove an ancient Earth,
right,
and they'll tell you that there are trees existing here that supposedly go back hundreds of thousands of years, right, even, and they don't know the method that's being applied. In fact, one of the first articles I ever wrote for Creation magazine was on tree rings, and the oldest living in situ trees that we have on the earth today actually do not predate the date of the biblical flood.
Right, right.
Again, that's information people do not get to hear. So if you've ever attended and watched any of our speakers, you'll know that our PowerPoints and our presentations are of good quality. We actually prepare and train for this. Mm-hmm. We'll sit down with all of our guys, we'll go through their talks, and they'll be kind of nutted out to the nth degree.
Well, that's another aspect, too. You said, we prepare our PowerPoint slides and, we really rely heavily on peer review. Guys are checking each other when we give this information. But we also have a session for people that want to be creation speakers.
Yeah, this has actually proved very popular. We've done it in the last 2 SuperConferences, and pretty much just about everybody has attended. We even give people a set of PowerPoints to take with them. We give them one of our books for free that will help them inform them and equip them if they want to go out and give these talks themselves. So that's a plenary session that we've got in there. Let me pick another subject. I'm going to be talking about climate change.
That's a hot topic.
So, this is an issue that we've kind of sat on the fence with for a few years. And then last year we came out with a major article on our website. And, the real summary of that is, we recognize it's God's creation. We need to be good stewards of it. But what we're dealing with is a lot of misinformation,
right,
that is perpetrated out there in the media with regard to this subject. So all of this is to help people make informed decisions, and most of all, to help you at home with your witnessing. We've just mentioned topics and subjects and kind of wet your whistle to say, here's information you don't hear about in the secular media.
Right.
So, I know, Erin, when I'm traveling on ministry and, I'm ordering my Diet Coke from the flight attendant and somebody says, where are you from? What about that accent? And I tell them who I am, and then they say, well, what's that about? And instantly I know I can just use a couple of topics.
Yeah.
Like, do you realize dinosaur bones have been carbon dated, to only thousands of years?
Right.
Not millions? I've never heard that before. And that's a great opener for a conversation.
It's the launching point for your apologetic.
Yeah. So, let's look at a couple of testimonies I've got, and we'll read out a couple. So don't take our word for it. We said we asked for feedback forms. Here's one. Most of the topics were new. So if you think you're going to hear the same old tired stuff, please don't think so. I like this, especially Gary Bates's talks and Jonathan Sarfati's talks. Overall, the camp was amazing. I'm so thankful I was able to come. I was really blessed, and I'm definitely coming to the next one. Thank you to all the speakers and the organizers. You did great.
Yeah, I like this one. It says, was it good or was it good? Mealtime was the pinnacle for me. I got to meet so many different folks, and so much treasure did I find.
Yeah. What an incredibly valuable time. The breadth of topics covered and the variety of speakers, ages, and their backgrounds was very inspiring. The level of professionalism continues to rise, and we have no lack of resources to use. Keep up the amazing work. CMI is truly a ministry for such a time as this.
One more from Dave. I've wanted to go to one of these conferences for a long time, and it was everything I'd hoped and more. Speakers were excellent, including archaeology. That was great. It really fits the core mission of showing how the real world fits in an inerrant view of Scripture.
So let's just recap again. So let's look at the dates. So it's at North Myrtle Beach, Hilton. Yep. Brand new venue we've never used before. Erin and I have been up there and cased the place out. We've got a separate building which is going to be almost fully self-contained for our conference. We're going to have the lectures right there in a brand new, huge auditorium. And right next door, you walk out the door, that's where we're going to be having our meals. You walk out the entrance another way, we're going to have a full range of our books and resources on display.
I want to also mention, too, we do have a children's program that'll go for about half of the day, and it'll be interactive. They'll be learning great biblical truth, but also great experiments and great crafts. So that's another really great part about the conference. It's a family conference.
Yeah. So the dates are Monday, May 30 to Friday, June 3. We'll pop that up now, 2022. And we're already taking registrations for this.
We are. And one thing, too, the reason why we chose the Hilton in North Myrtle Beach is it's only about 30 minutes from the North Myrtle Beach Airport, or the Myrtle Beach Airport. And it's really, really accessible. You could actually, a lot of people all over the Midwest and even up into Canada, they will drive down for a beach vacation.
Yeah, so we have speakers you know and trust, plus a couple of specially invited guests who'll be speaking on their specialist topics. So again, you've got your accommodation, your meals, all the lectures. There's a children's program, as we said, involved.
Free time activities.
Yeah, free time activities there. We've even got an evolutionary biologist. Wow. That worries you, doesn't it? Joel Tay has a degree in evolutionary biology, but to fund his way through college when he was back in Singapore, he used to do magic shows and children's parties. So even something there for the kids, he's going to be putting on one of those.
It's really fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. You know, you're more likely to learn in an enjoyable environment, and certainly that's what we try to do with this conference.
Yeah, so don't miss out. We have some early bird discounts that are getting ready to expire soon, so take advantage. And again, just go to creation2022.com and register today.
So just to reemphasize, you know, Erin, we've all been cooped up for over a year and a half, and I think that's why there's so much excitement, even when we're just doing normal events. But folks, what a great tension breaker, what a great release is to kind of get out there again, have a vacation, but a time of learning and equipping that will make a difference in your family's life. I'm not overstating this, is what I'm trying to emphasize from experience. It really does have that much of a dramatic impact on attendees. I remember at the last conference we were packing up, people were even tearful. It was amazing. And that's just an indication, I think, of the great spiritual and emotional impact conferences like this can have in people's lives and your family. So we do encourage you to come along. And I'll leave you to remind folks about the web address and how they can register.
Again, so just go to creation2022.com. That's the event page, the conference page. You can go ahead and register, sign up. I know this kind of sounds like a little bit of an infomercial, but it's not. Our heart is to just connect with you and to share this information with you in a personalized setting. So go ahead and like and subscribe the page so you can get more information, not only about the conference, but about the great research and topics that we tackle on creation.com talk. And just join us, become a part of CMI's family.